What's going on, good people? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. It is wind down Wednesday time. Y'all know who I am. I'm sitting here. It's Wednesday. And yes, it's what? 6 o'clock. And we are about to talk about it because this conversation that we about to dig into has been one of the ones that I've been trying to woo-wee talk about for about 2 weeks. And everybody that I talk to, I always got something different to say. But anyway, y'all know who I am. I'm sitting here and I'm Sandy, and I got my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Hump Day. We're in the middle of the week. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
And y'all know what? We got a special guest sitting on the side, one of my girlfriends, who I had a deep conversation with the other night.
Hey,
We
hey.
agree to disagree and all that other good stuff. But anyway, we gonna about to get down into this nitty gritty. But wait a minute before we bring her on in, sis. How your week been, girl?
Oh, it's been great. It's sunny. It's still warm out, so I'm excited. Nobody's sick. Everybody's in their right mind. So yes, no complaints. How about yours?
Girl, look here. If I told the lady today, if I was any happier, I'd be a millionaire. But and I'm working on trying to be that too. But in my eyes, in my heart, I'm already a millionaire because God said, whatever I want, it's mine. So I'm rich. I'm live and in living color. The family is well. All is good. Everybody is wonderful. I am happy. I'm a little tired because a sister done went back to work. I tell you what, after being retired for a year, I done went back to work. Getting up every morning, getting to work on time. That's a struggle. Oh, it's a struggle. But I tell you what, I'm ready for it. I'm here for the party. But in the meantime, in between time, God has been so good and I have no complaints, and I'm just happy. Can't you tell? So, anywho, let's get to it. Hey, people, guess what? Welcome to our dear friend over here, Jonetta. Jonetta,
Hey,
welcome to Wind
hey.
Down Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
Hey, welcome.
Thank
You're,
you.
you're so welcome. And let me tell y'all, the reason why I even asked Janetta to join us because we had that deep conversation the other night, and she had some very interesting things that I thought was good. This ain't about men, women bashing men. This ain't it. That's not what we do here. We just keep it 100 and we roll with it. It just come off the tip of our tongue and we just say it. So the question for everybody today is if you are single, no, if you're in a relationship, now correct me, Janetta, if I'm wrong. But if you're in a relationship, are you considered single? Now, this is right now, I guess, we are women, and I think we're coming from a woman's perspective on what we think. Now, we ain't got no man on here to tell us. We were talking to one the other night, and he gave us some real good insight on his thought process on it. And I like talking to men because it allow us to get that feel of what they're thinking and what their thoughts are. So, Jonetta, before we jump into it, tell the people just a little bit about you, my girlfriend.
Well, I'm Jonetta and I'm married. I'm 49, old as hell, but anyway, that's a whole different subject. But I'm ready to have a conversation. That
Oh,
part.
she said that's it. That part. Y'all don't need to know nothing else about me. That part. So, are you from Cincinnati, born and raised? Did you go to school
Absolutely.
around here?
Yes, absolutely. I'm from our neighborhoods, downtown, Avondale, Bond Hill. I'm from our neighborhood, so pretty much everybody. Well, a lot of people know me in Cincinnati. So yes, I'm from Cincinnati. Yes.
Okay, Miss Cincinnati, and one of my friends because she's always been true, and just wholeheartedly to the point and factual, sharp as a whip when she go out to, you don't never see
Thank
her
you
in the
so much.
same piece of clothing, and I think everybody around the city knows that you won't see her in the same thing all the time. Period. At all. That's all I'm gonna say on that note. But anyway, okay. So what do you feel about? So what's your take on that topic? If I am dating someone, am I still considered to be single?
Um, of course, my opinion would be because it first started out if we're in a relationship. So if we're in a relationship, that relationship word is confusing because I can't be single if I'm in a relationship. That's one. But if we're just dating and we have an understanding, as long as there's an understanding where we are in this dating process, then yes, we can be single depending on what the understanding is. Do I make sense?
It does.
So,
It makes a lot of sense. But you and I know that there are a lot of people that are in relationships but still living the single life. And it happens. I don't care where you go or what you do. You're in a relationship, and it does depend on the relationship, and you should communicate that. But
correct.
it normally does not happen. Communication doesn't happen. People just do it. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll see me out and about, but I'm in a relationship, but you'll see me out and about, and then I'm acting like I'm single, but I'm in a relationship, but I'm single. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I think that that's why there's a lot of issues and a lot of fights and a lot of, disagreements within that process of the two people, because there's no understanding and there's no communication. And so when I'm off doing whatever I want to do, but I'm making you feel that I'm with you, when you see me doing what I want to do, we having problems. And I think at these ages, there should be more communicating than just doing. You know what I'm saying? We're not young. So, and even the young people is acting crazy because of those type of things. So I just feel like communicating is the most important part of, so I know what I'm doing or I'm able to do with that person. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. What you think, sis?
Well, I agree with her, and my thing is too it's a conversation that has to be had, and it's a mutual agreement. A lot of people out here in situationships, okay? So a situationship is just you a situation, like we together. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. You see me with somebody else. If you see me, you keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because today ain't your day, and so it's just a lot of variables with that. If you're in a relationship, and there's a difference between just being in a relationship and being in a committed relationship. If you're committing and that person's committing and you are both agreeing to saying, hey, we are together, that means that I'm not gonna be with somebody else and you're not gonna be with somebody else. So we have that, like she said, understanding. We are together. Um, and so therefore, but if you're just dating, I wouldn't call that a relationship. We're dating. I'm getting to know you. You're getting to know me. You're probably
Right.
dating other people. I'm probably dating other people. That is dating. And so there has to be a crystal clear difference between it, because again, that's where you get into situationships where I thought one thing, he thought something else. You know what I mean? Everybody doing whatever. No, again, communication. You have to communicate that thing. So if I am in a relationship, most people not kind of know. Yeah, she is in a relationship because whether I'm out by myself or not, I represent that relationship, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at
Absolutely.
with it.
Well, we know people don't act like that. I mean, yes, yes, yes. We know that. We know that for a fact. Clear as day that if I'm seeing somebody, who I'm seeing, and that every time we go somewhere, you invite us, we over there. It's me and him, or him and me, or whatever the case may be. But yet, on the other hand, make it make sense to me. I am being the devil's advocate right now until something else comes up, until you make me feel like I'm in that or I am that one, then I'm single. If you ain't, I don't care conversation or no conversation, because sometimes actions speak way louder than words. Yeah, we kicking it and we having a good time. We even sexing each other and doing all of that. When we together, we down and it's good. But at the end of the day, if you ain't making me feel like I'm that one, or we doing this, that, and the other, then I'm single until otherwise notice. Period. I don't care how much we together. I don't care what you think. You could love them. They could love me. At the end of the day, ain't no ring on it, and you ain't making me feel like I am that one, I'm single. Now, you may not like it, but your actions are showing me otherwise. So guess what I'm going to do? Act single. I'm going to be single. Anybody ask me, am I dating somebody? No, I'm not. I'm devil's advocate, because y'all know that happens. You know that happens.
So
And
let me ask you a
people
question.
think that way.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So, say you dating someone, or you so-called in a half-half relationship, like your sister said, situationship, and you out with someone else, and that person shows up. How do you handle that?
Like you handle anything else. Oh, once again, I'm the devil's advocate on this scene because them two ladies right there, they married, and I am single. So they have probably been married for a long time, so they ain't got to go through all this. And like you said
Right.
earlier, it's hard out there. It's very difficult for women, especially women my age or our age or whatever. I'm older than you all, so it's very difficult to be dating or to be out there trying to be all over the place because half of them ain't no good. Both men and women ain't none of, and you don't know what you're getting. You get lies, a bunch of them, and you get a lot of sheeps in wolves clothing. You get a lot of that. So one minute they this way and one minute they aren't. But when you out in public and all of a sudden you see them with somebody else, you don't know what it is. It could have been somebody I grew up and went to high school with. It could be a family friend. So you jump into conclusions because you don't know who it is. Don't necessarily mean that we are together. It could have been somebody that just pulled up a chair and want to have a conversation. So what is there? Why would you get in an uproar, or why would you worry about who I'm talking to when you ain't trying to make me feel like I'm that one anyway? So at some point in time, I should be able to talk to who I want to talk to when I get ready, wherever I am. If you walk in on me talking to somebody, it should be okay. You shouldn't be in your feelings every time your man or your girl talking to somebody. I don't think so, but that's me. Because you don't know who that person is. You don't even know if you've never seen them before. It could be my brother or cousin. It could be a long lost somebody. Who knows? So you jump to conclusions. So what would I do? I just keep it moving and make the introduction. And so this is so and so, and so this is so and so. Now, if the conversation continue, and then if they want to act like I'm their girl or whatever at the time, then so be it. Then you act like, all right, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna run with it. And that person may leave and be like, okay, I see that's her man, or that's somebody she know, or that was her date she was here waiting on. It's a lot. It's a lot that can go in on that. Just because you see me out there and I got a man, but then my man walk in because I'm talking to somebody. Come on now. You're gonna get in your feelings about that. Ask me questions after. Don't make no butt of yourself at the time, because that's what you're gonna be doing, making a butt of yourself, because you don't know who that person is. I'm like you. I know a lot of people in this city, a lot of people.
You do.
And don't jump to conclusions because I'm talking to a man or a man in my face. That's not something that I want to see. That means you weak. Then that means you soft, you weak, and you get in your feelings easily. For what? If I said if I'm down with you and I have showed you I'm down with you, because everybody's actions ain't the same, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about.
So I agree with you as far as single, because if you think about it, if you're filling out documentation, it says, married, single, widow. Obviously if you're not married, then you're single. I agree with you to that degree. But if you're dating, you are single, but what is the relationship? Like, what have you communicated to each other? Is it okay that, okay, I'm interested in you, you interested in me, we spend a lot of time together, but if
you breaking up, sis. You breaking up. You going, you sound like a robot on the other end that them ran out of energy. So somebody text me a message, and I'm gonna read what they said. It's better to date a woman who is older, divorced, experienced, and in somewhat of a similar situation that you're in. Now, true or false, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you single and she's single, what difference does it make? Because everybody ain't compatible. Opposites do attract.
Right.
But I'm single and I'm ready to mingle until further notice.
So you are dating or you aren't dating? You're
Oh,
in a
I'm
relationship
dating.
or you're not in a relationship?
I'm dating. I am dating. I am the devil's advocate with you two married women. I am the
Mm,
devil's advocate, and I am
got
dating,
you.
and I'm in a relationship, situationship, on the board ship, around the corner ship, on the cruise ship. You know, so we rolling.
Sandy
We
off the chain.
rolling.
That's a lot of
So
shit.
that's a lot
Exactly.
of shit, right? So let me ask you a
Exactly.
question, Sandy. Is there a such thing as a relationship
Oh
that
yeah.
that's considered um not single
There,
also?
there are once again. Hey people, it's Wind Down Wednesday, and I'm talking to two married women, and I'm the single one on this end over here. So the question is, if you're in a relationship, are you considered single? There are some people that have said that they are in a relationship and they are still considered single because they don't have a ring on or they're not married to that individual. So they're single and they consider the other individual, if there's somebody that they're interested in and they're in a relationship with somebody else, then it's open season, it's free game. So yes, there is a such thing as a relationship, but we also know there are different levels of relationship. And it
Absolutely.
is, I mean, you can have a friendship relationship with the very opposite person, with the opposite sex. That's a different type of relationship. That ain't the sexual relationship where you got a sexual relationship with someone of the opposite sex or the same sex, but it's a sexual relationship. So there are different types of relationships that people have. But what relationship is the number one relationship where people will be considerate of somebody else's feelings or somebody else's thoughts and saying, I ain't gonna do this. I'm not gonna date nobody else. I'm not gonna try to talk to nobody else, even if they're in a committed relationship. So there's a whole lot of relationships out there. So yes, I do believe in every last one of them. But which one is sufficient enough for that individual to say, I'm not single? You
So
got a
that's not
friendship,
so that's not so that's
and a
not so that's
committed.
not the committed relationship anymore. So the committed relationship, you're still single.
You can be in a committed relationship and still feel single and be single. I'm just this stuff just coming to my brain. You can be in a It's my thought process. You can be in in a committed relationship and still be single. Cause ain't no, I mean, think about it.
Where's
If
the
they
difference?
if you are committed to that person, that person committed to you, but you still single because that's how you feel. You feel like you're single because they make you feel like you're single because they don't make you feel like nothing else, but you still committed to them and you're committed to the relationship, but you're single because if somebody else, which means, here's something else just came to my brain, which means that if the right person or another person came along and started showing you or doing the things that you lack or need or want or whatever, then guess what? That committed ship that you was in gonna probably be over, and you're gonna step over into the other boat.
So it
So
seems
what's
to
the
me that that wasn't. It seems to me that wasn't really a commitment then.
right?
I mean, in my opinion, that's not. I know you playing devil's advocate, but that sound like a
Makes sense.
situation. That don't sound like a committed relationship because if
Right.
you committed and I'm committed, then I'm not single. So that means if I'm committed, you committed, someone approaches me and wants to date me, no, because I'm in a committed relationship. But a situationship where that person's doing whatever and I'm doing whatever and we may hook up here and there, then okay, somebody else wants to jump into the dating pool with me, then hey, that's that. But that's, to me, that's not committed. In my opinion, that's not a committed relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone, yeah, you're not married to them, but you're in agreement, they're in agreement, y'all on the same page. And so, you can't hop around and be dating with other people if you've agreed and they've agreed that we're gonna be together.
You
I agree.
shouldn't hop around. I'm not saying that you can't hop around. You shouldn't be hopping around at the age that we are, or whomever, at the age we are. You shouldn't be hopping around, but you can hop around because we know women keep secrets, and men keep secrets. If you ain't married, if you ain't engaged, and if you ain't living in that same household with each other, you don't know everything that's going on with each other. You don't. At the end of the day, somebody else could be putting me to sleep at night on the phone. I could be falling asleep with somebody else at night on the phone, and vice versa, because we are not together. People are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it, single or not. Choices we all have to make, period. So, being in a relationship, what kind of relationship are we talking about in order for that person to feel that they're still single? Because I know women, that used to be my thought process. I used to be like, if he ain't got no ring on and they're not engaged and they just dating or whatever, he's single. That was my thought process. He's single. Oh, I was terrible. He's single. They ain't. Yes, I used to think that. I thought that way. I really did. Until I dues take place. I even was to the point where I didn't care if a ring was on her finger. They ain't married yet. He's still single. Anything could happen at any given time to turn the tide, to make it go a different way. That's my thought. That's how I felt at the end of the day.
Is
So
that felt
here
or
the thing is,
still feeling?
well, I've known people and I know people that are in relationships, but they don't feel like they're in a relationship. I'm telling you, they've been dating for years and they don't feel like they're in a relationship. No rings have been put on it. Marriage, yes, has been talked about, but they don't feel like they're in a relationship. I don't know what ship they on, but it ain't the ship that they want to be on. So, in other words, they're single. If that person ain't making them feel like they want to feel, then they're single.
So is it just about the feeling, or is there more to it?
Of course, it's about the feelings. Feelings always take place. Feelings are always a part of making one feel good. I think we talked about that the other night too. It depends on how they feel. If they're not feeling it, then why be in it? If they're not making you feel like you think you should feel, then why are you in it? At what point do you step away or walk away? But it's something about that relationship or that ship that you want to stay in. Something about it. But what is it? What is it? What's making you stay in it? Money, material things. He fine and sexy. His sexing is good, or vice versa with women too. All of that. Why are you still there? And especially if you ain't happy. If you're not happy and you single, you are single. Like, what's the song say? I'm living a single, because you're living a single life on a daily basis. Every day you wake up, you by yourself. You get up out of bed, you by yourself. You ain't got to cook for nobody. You ain't got to make no beds or wash clothes. You living a single life. So what ship is it that you in? If you're in a relationship, are you still single? Netta,
Um,
I see your brain
so
going.
I'm confused. My brain going every. Here's my thing. If the part of the relationship needs to be understood, period. Because if so, how do you get to know a person if you feel like I'm dealing with this person, but I'm still single? So how do you get it? How you grow into getting engaged and married if you still feeling like you single? Because single meaning I ain't trying to really get to know just one person because I'm single. I'm cool. I understand what you're saying too. If I'm living by myself, I'm just dealing with this person over here or whatever, but everything I'm doing feels single. I'm single. I understand that portion of the deal. But what I don't understand is why you don't have a conversation with this person, this one person that you dealing with, and let them know like, well, we need to do something different for us. We need to join forces. We need to get together and live together. We need to do the things that we need to do so that we can figure out, is there a marriage in, coming soon, or coming in, even in play, or what, so that I won't be wasting my time.
So let me ask this question. If that conversation has happened, if the conversation has taken place about the relationship and where the individuals are in the relationship, if marriage has been discussed at some point down the road, or when you met along the way, or whatever, if that message took place and you all have an understanding, but that individual still is making you feel differently and making you not want to get married or not want to be married because there's some other things that's taking place, but you've had that conversation and things still have not changed, they are still remaining the same, then you single until they get it right.
Well, then you walk away. Then you leave that
I was just,
situation.
I was just about to, I was just about to say that because at the end of the day, that's just a waste of time, and
Right,
and
because you
and I
already
see
had the
how
conversation.
you saying that they real single because nothing's happening. So yeah, you can date and see whoever you want to because it doesn't really sound like you was really in a relationship.
I don't know. Maybe they loved each other now. Maybe they love each other. I don't know. I mean, maybe they never said they love each other. I don't know. But the conversation has happened about the relationship and where they stand. They had that conversation, um, and they've had conversations about being married or getting married. Let's say one want to get married and the other one don't. Then what? The one that don't want to get married, are they single? Do they still have the mindset of being single or thinking that they single?
If
And
they
the other one
smart,
that wants to get married,
in my opinion, if they smart, you move along because at the end of the day, if you're no, you know that you want to be a wife, or you're looking for or your wife, you want to be married, but the person that you're with, dating or whatever, they've already stated they don't ever want to be married. Then you're wasting your time. You holding your time up and you holding their time up. They've already stated they don't want to be married. So
Right.
it's time for you to put yourself in a place where you're going to be dating people who are actually looking to be married.
so
I'm
what
not going to date somebody who would have no interest ever in life and get married. That's a waste of my time because I want to be somebody's wife.
so what happens if their actions are showing differently? I mean, I get what you're saying. I heard you. So what happens if their actions are showing differently? And the conversations have happened and they've talked about the marriage thing and they want to get married at some point, but one want to get married, the other one don't. They're not saying they don't ever want to get married, but I guess right now they probably don't want to get married.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? But you've had the conversations. Should that person still feel like they're single because they don't want to get married? They ain't ready to get married. And I get what you're saying. Move on and keep it moving. Now you got to start over with somebody from scratch. And maybe they don't want to do that. I don't know. They done been with them for 10, 15, 20 years and they still in the same relationship. They're still in the same boat. I mean, you dating, you
Well,
single,
that's you know
you
that's
know.
that's unfortunate. That's different patience level. I mean, they're in a different place. Obviously, if it's been 10 years and they've had this conversation, say at year 4, year 5, and we're still at 10, and it's nothing. Like, to me, that person is just waiting for nothing.
Maybe
In
that's
my
what they
opinion,
want.
not saying that maybe year 12 or 13 they might say, "Hey, let's get married." I don't know. It just depends on the person and what they're willing to wait, or what they're, what I'm saying, their patience, what they're willing to deal with.
Maybe that's what they want though. Maybe they want to remain the same. Maybe they want to stay the way they are. Maybe they don't want to move to the next level with that individual because there may be other things underneath the surface that's going on. You know, the picture looks good on the outside. You
Right.
can make that look good. You can make that picture. I mean, you can paint that picture perfectly. Been there, done that. That picture for me was painted wonderful when I was married. We painted the picture. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew. Now we didn't argue, fuss, fight, and curse and do all of that. Hit on each other. That didn't happen. But when it was over, it was over. But when we stepped outside the door, nobody knew the relationship or the marriage, what type of marriage we were going through or what was going on, because we painted that picture well.
Mhm.
People do that in relationships too. They paint that picture so good that you don't have a clue of what's going on, and then one wants to still get married and the other one don't. But that is just, I mean, I don't know. It's just, this is a crazy um, situation. It's very difficult, but I'm going to say there are people that are in relationships that feel single, and until it changes, they're gonna still feel single.
Me personally, I just feel that that just brings up too much drama when I'm in a relationship with you, and yes, I want to move forward. I want to, you know, eventually become married. And then you tell me like, well, that ain't really where I'm at right now. I have to make a decision for myself instead of me just feeling like I'm single. I have to make a decision just to get out of it because we're not on the same page, you know, and we already gonna spend too much time, you know, and we're not moving forward. We're still standing at a standstill. Me personally, I couldn't be in that. So I will end the situationship, relationship, whatever it was at that time, I would have to end it so that I can really be single, not just really feel single. I can just be single. You know what I'm saying? And if I want to date around and do whatever after that, then that's fine. But in that situation, I have to end it.
And you
I
know,
agree with you.
people,
I agree with you because I mean, it's just too much. It's too much time, and you holding up that person's time. They holding up your time for the person that you
Correct.
probably, should be married to or should be dating and could be getting married. Like, it's that's makes no sense to me.
well, it happens. Y'all know it happens. And my thing is, you can be in love with somebody, you can love someone, and you can have love. My thing is, you got to have all three of them. You got to feel all three of them about that individual. That's just my take on it. I just don't want to love you. I want to love your dirty draws. I just want, when I see you, I still want to get that woo 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 feeling when I
Hmm.
see you. You know, I just don't want that one love. I want the trifecta love. That's what I call it. I call it the trifecta love. But y'all know, for someone that's been in a relationship with somebody for more than however many years, it's very difficult for them to step away and walk away from that person. And it's going to be hard for them to walk away, especially if they got the trifecta love or if they got any love. Now, it's easier said than done. We can sit here and talk all day about how bad it is and what they should do. But unless you're in that situationship, the relationship, whatever ship you in, it's probably gonna be hard for you to pull the plug out of that boat before it sinks. This, especially if you've been in it for a long time. It ain't that easy for some people. So they rather stay in the relationship and be single than to move out of the relationship and be real single, because it's familiarity. You're familiar with that person. You're good with that person. Everything is almost good because I guess the booty good. I don't. I don't know. And I understand you can go get booty anywhere. Booty easy to get. Booty real easy for women to get. So I don't care if you fat, sloppy, ugly, stinking, or whatever. You can still get booty. That's easy. But it's very hard for them to put a plug out of that boat that they've been in for so long. So they'd rather stay in the relationship and be single. Just the devil's advocate on this side of the camera.
Yeah, but that's how people get their heads caved in. Is that my phone acting up?
Yep,
Can you hear me better now?
yep.
I said that's how people kind of get in those hardcore fights with each other when because I'm staying just because I love you, but I'm not feeling the love reciprocated. So now at a certain point, that person gonna start feeling bad and down, and you go out here and then you go. I would call it cheat. You go out here, you go cheat because you're not feeling what you need to really be feeling it inside of this relationship. And so once you get busted, then what? Because you
It's
really
over.
can't have a conversation because we already had the conversation over and over and over. You're not capable of giving me what I feel like I need inside of this relationship. So, but I'm gonna deal with it because I love you, or I'm gonna deal with it because I don't know how to leave, or I'm gonna deal with it because of whatever feelings that I have that I'm dealing with it for. So I'm single in my head.
So
That
the other,
it don't kind of work like that.
yeah, and the other piece too is you can't be functioning in a relationship or a situationship like it's a marriage, because I mean, then what would the person want to marry you for? It makes no sense. Like, we're already functioning as such, so people need to stop getting into these relationships functioning as though it is a marriage until time actually comes, because everything is spiritual, everything. So you in these situations because you're functioning in the relationship as though you're already married. So yeah, why would he want to marry you? I
I
mean, just
agree.
think about it.
It's a relationship. Yeah, you acting like you. Okay, so you acting like you already married, but you're really not married. But that relationship may not be what that person is really looking for, because once again, if you're not making that individual feel how they feel they want to be feel or needed to be felt with, or whatever, y'all know what I'm saying, why would you not continue to act like you are single? I don't care about all that. I hear what y'all saying. Yeah, I get all this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I'm cool with you. We good, but I'm still single. And you have had the conversation over and over and over and over and over. And that's all you do is talk. You talk about this situation. You talk about that situation. You talk about what happened last week. You talk about, remember when so and so, so and so. You're looking at somebody else's relationship or situationship, and you're bringing that stuff up. What about your own? Because you ain't changed nothing in your own relationship, but you don't want to let that person go.
Let me ask you a question. Then, what is your breaking point?
And then, oh, that's what, thank you, because you reminded me of something that you said. My other question is that I had too was, if you're in a relationship or a committed relationship and you do date, or you go and you want to date somebody else, is that considered cheating? If you are in a relationship, committed relationship, situationship with that one person, but you go out and you do this and you have dinner with somebody else, or you chit chatting on the phone with somebody else, is that cheating in the relationship? If I'm talking to somebody about my situation, knowing that that person likes me, so I'm sitting there telling them all my business of what's going on with me and my man, and knowing that that person likes me, am I cheating? And I might, just a little bit, I might like them, which is why I keep talking to them.
According to your definition, no, because you're single.
What?
According to your definition, no, because you're single.
So why do
But in
people
my
who,
opinion,
But
yes,
reality, you're cheating. The
re,
reality of it, yes, you're cheating.
even just with a conversation, I'm cheating.
Emotional.
If somebody asks me out to dinner right now, y'all know I'm dating somebody and I'm seeing somebody. Y'all know that. And I think everybody knows that. I'm using me in this example. Now, all that other stuff wasn't about me, but I'm using myself in this example. So y'all know I'm dating somebody and y'all know I'm seeing somebody and all that other stuff. So um, if somebody is interested in me and they ask me to go to lunch, and to me, it ain't no big deal. But knowing that they like me, but to me, it's just no big deal, because I know that I'm in a relationship and I know I'm in a committed relationship, but yet still I go anyway. Am I cheating in my relationship?
Let me answer. No, because you're just now if you like this man and you know this man like you and you sit there like you just said and you tell him all what's going wrong in your relationship, then to me, yes. But if you just going on a date, yeah, I know he like me, but I know how to remain in control of the situation, then no. Because that's just a friendly little date. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
What you think, sis?
I'm kind of the same. I mean, I just like I said, if this because there'll be a gazillion one people that like you. You know, my opinion that
Yeah.
means nothing. We're going to do something, or we're going to grab something to eat or something like that. That's not my interest. That's not my focal point. Now I'm with her. If that is my interest and that is my focal point, and I know this, forefronted, then yeah, absolutely. Whether it be an ex or somebody new who been tap dancing around, then yes, that is
Cheating.
cheating. Yes, yes, yes.
Just
And then, okay, are you going to say something to the person that you're in a relationship with about this person?
ooh, now that's the question.
Yeah. Are you going to have a conversation? Say, hey, I went to lunch with XYZ today.
That's the question. Will they tell they went to lunch with somebody that's interested in them, but it ain't no big deal.
If they up to no good, then no, they ain't gonna say nothing.
It's a friendship
But if
thing.
they are up and up person, that everything's on the upward up, and they walking in truth, then it's not a big issue to even have a conversation about.
So
Right.
then that's going back to that understanding then. I mean, I guess, but my question is if I'm single, and I know this girl like my man. I know she does. But they go to lunch. Is that a problem? Now we ain't married, we ain't engaged, we ain't living together, ain't none of that. But we in a relationship. But I know this girl like him. I know she does. And they go out and it's just a lunch. Might go out and get some Chick-fil-A. No big deal. Is that okay? Now I may not know about it until after the fact. My question is, why would you go out with somebody that you know like you? That's my question. That's the first question I ask. Why would you even go out with somebody and be bothered with somebody that you know like you? Because you're starting a mess. You're starting something.
Yeah,
Right.
you mislead
You
that.
entertainment. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
So is that cheating?
That's a good question, Sandy.
I mean, is that cheating? Because you
What is the
know
what is but so what is the what was the reason? What is the reason for the lunch? That's the thing. What's the reason for the lunch?
we
What is
don't
the purpose?
just
Is it
want to
for
know. Hey,
is
how
it
you
for a
doing?
business campaign? Because like I said, a gazillion people go like you. If I work with somebody and they have interest and we got to do a campaign together, we got to work on something together. Yeah, I'm gonna go to lunch with them, but it's nothing to me. We doing work. But for that's what I'm saying. In this situation, what is the purpose of going to lunch? It's just, oh, because I think it's fun, or I want to see what she's talking about. Like, what is the purpose of actually going?
I'm in the neighborhood. I'm in your neighborhood. What are you doing? Are you busy? Hey, meet me over at such and such. Boy, you want to grab a bite of lunch real quick? Meet me at such and such. Knowing,
It's gonna be a no.
is
I
that
wouldn't necessarily say it's cheating, but I would say it's disrespectful
to the relationship?
to the
I would
relationship.
say it's very disrespectful, and I would say it's entertaining other things. You open a crack, right? You enter a crack. Next thing you know, the door will be wide open. You just don't. It has to. There was no reason for that. It wasn't for business. It wasn't a contract we got to work on together. None of the above. Like, there's no reason that you can really give me. So no, I'm
Right,
not okay with that.
right.
But it could be a contract. Say I got somebody that I know that like me, or they used to like me, or they want to like me, or they used to want to date me, or whatever. But it's nothing. It's just absolutely nothing. And I get them to come and paint my house. Now that's business. But as a single woman, or as a woman that's in a relationship with somebody else, knowing that that man likes me, should
I'm
I
gonna have him come on back. Hey, I need you to stop by real quick. I'm
should
gonna
I
have him come on back.
allow that man to come paint my house?
Go ahead. But while he painting the house, I'm gonna be on the phone with whoever I'm with, and I'm be like, hey, I need you to stop by. When that person get there, hey, this is the contractor that have painting the house. This is so and so. You know what I'm saying? Everything's out in the open. It just depends on what your intentions are. If you're intending to be sneaky, intending to do something that's malice, it'll always come out.
So being in a relationship and you ain't got no ring on your finger, nothing, ain't no I do's done happening, zero, you ain't asked nobody to marry you, you single. At the end of the day, the ship that you in, you're single. As Beyonce said, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Period. Because that's showing a real commitment. Hope supposedly, not really, but that's showing a real commitment to that person. That's an action that you ain't never showed before. What? Yeah.
My thing is, because I know you said earlier that people can't just jump in and out. Then why give options? I mean, if you're willing to take it because you ain't getting out this relationship anyway, then why even ask questions like when I'm ready for marriage and you not? Why even care? Because you ain't going nowhere anyway. You ain't doing nothing but stirring up mess. Because you know good and well you're not going nowhere. So you gonna keep floating into this relationship that you trying to have control over. Like, well, you can't do nothing because you're in a relationship with me. But I know you ain't trying to go far. You ain't trying to get married, or you ain't trying to do anything that I need or want within this relationship. So why even care?
Because they like what they are getting materialistically from that individual. They like the places they go. They like some of the things that they do. So they want to stay in it because overall they might be a good person, but they're not as good as you would like them to be. So you're not
Nobody's gonna ever be a perfect person.
ever.
It's never gonna be a perfect relationship.
So
Never. Marriage, none of that.
how many issues are you willing to put up with
That's right.
in a relationship?
That's the
Gotta
question.
ask yourself that. That person gotta ask themselves, how many issues am I willing to put up with inside of this relationship? Because you can't be in a saying you can't be in a relationship walking single. You cannot. It don't even add up. It don't make sense.
People do it all the time. It happens you and I know that. We
And
all
that's why it be so much
know that.
drama. It be so much fights and
That's
this
why
and that
it's
and
so
the third.
messy. Yeah, it's so messy. That's why.
We know it happens. We know it happens. People are walking around every day and you know they in a relationship, but then they open old girl face, hollering at her, doing whatever. You know they in a relationship. They walking around here acting like they single. It happens all the time.
It does, but that's why it be so many problems. You just really you fighting with fire. You and you know it. You really do know it because everybody know right from wrong, right? And so I know if this man really love me, like me, but he don't want to go where I need to go inside the relationship. So I'm gonna go over here and because us women, we can't. A lot of us fall kind of easily, and we emotional creatures. So once we get emotionally attached to somebody else, it's gonna be a problem. So why even set yourself up for that when you know you ain't leaving this situation? You know you ain't leaving this. So why even play single? Why? You gotta ask yourself that.
Because they might leave. They just might be preparing themselves to eventually walk away. I
So
mean,
do they need to leave in order for them to gain the courage to leave? Do they need to be having different situations going on?
they might. I mean,
That's a problem for them. That's a problem within themselves.
they might need that in order to help them move on and to help them walk away from the relationship they're in. They might need that. I don't know. I'm devil's advocate here.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
sounds like
know.
codependency.
They might need that.
That sounds like codependency to me.
Right, right. It's a drug addict.
They
That's
might,
a situation, a single addict.
because they might be that kind of person that you think about it. They might be the kind of person that they don't want to be by themselves and never have and can't be alone. Always, you go out one relationship and you jump right into another one. So you never give your time no space to do what you need to do to be by yourself, to find out who you really are. So you go from one relationship to another relationship and you're leaning on somebody else because you're about to walk away from that relationship. So when you walk away, you ready to jump back into another one, but you ain't never had the time by yourself to find yourself, to see who you really are before you go back and get into something else. So that might be the reason, but I don't know. See, everybody
But
ain't
that's
like
a major, major problem within a person. A person that don't love themselves enough to give themselves that woosah from one relationship to the next. That's a danger. And they never gonna last in relationships because they become too clingy. They become too needy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have to have some independence in a relationship.
And they may never recognize their issues or their parts and or dealings in the relationship. That's key. That's major.
and I say, if you can't recognize your need and what you want, that is a problem. But in order for you to recognize it, you might need to go get some help. Somebody might need to help you recognize this issue that you have, because like I was getting ready to say, everybody ain't like me. I was married for 21 years with the man for like probably 25. But the whole thing about it is I gave myself some space. I gave myself some time. I didn't leave one relationship and go into another one. I didn't get a divorce and jump right back into another relationship. Yes, I had friends. I had mass friends, but I didn't jump right into a relationship after it was over. You have to give yourself some time and space. So they may not be wanting to get themselves no time and space because they're always used to somebody being there and they're always used to somebody being with them. So therefore, being in a relationship and you ain't married, you're not engaged, the actions that they show from one relationship to the next, they're single, because you done moved quickly. You done moved too quick from one person to another person. So you were never in what you thought was a triangle, a trifecta relationship. You were just dating somebody, but now you're moving on to somebody else. So at the whole time, you've been single in that relationship and didn't even know it. That's my take. Because you done jump from one to another without giving yourself some time, because then you living a single life. You are living a single life because it's okay for you to jump out of a relationship and go right into another one and right into another. You're living a single life. I don't care. You're living a single life. That's my take. I'm sticking to it.
Sandy has spoken.
I'm just saying, because you got to give yourself some time. You got to find peace within yourself before you go into something else, because you still damaged from somebody in the past. You
Right.
ain't got over that piece yet.
I agree.
Single. If you're in a relationship, are you single? What kind of relationship you in? Well, y'all married. I'm in the Sandy ship. How about that?
That's a thing now, I guess, huh? That's a
I'm in
thing.
my own ship. Last time I checked, I'm in my own ship. I can unplug my boat whenever I get ready. And if it's gonna sink, guess who ain't gonna be in it? Me. I'm just gonna let that booger go on down by itself. I don't care what's
Right.
in it. As long as my baby and my friends ain't in it, we good. I'm just gonna
Right.
unplug it when I get ready, and I'm gonna be good. The fact of the matter is, men got to be strong enough to pull the plug out of the boat and let it sink.
Yes.
But you got to have confidence within yourself that you can do that. But in the meantime, between time, you're in a relationship and you live in single. Because I'm living a single ladies, clap your hands.
Hey, hey, hey. Mm-mm.
Just saying, But life is good, guys. But people need to realize what they're doing. And I do think communication is key. I think you need to talk about everything. I was just telling my friend today. We were on the phone today, and I was like, at the end of the day, I keep telling you, I keep saying it over and over again. I can't say it enough. I need to talk to you. If my booty scratch itches, I need to let you. Oh man, my buttocks is itching. We need to be able to talk about every single thing, whether or not it hurt your feelings or mine, because that's never the intentions.
Right.
And if you can't talk about it without getting angry or getting upset or being in your feelings or getting jealous over it, then what's the point in discussing it?
Right.
You need to unplug that boat. Take it out and let that boat sink and go on about your business.
I agree.
That's my take on it.
I agree.
Well, y'all know what time it is.
Yes.
Nine
Positive
down.
quotes.
This is a deep conversation. I know we probably got off the track a little bit. Me and Janetta went deep the other night.
Real deep. You hear me?
We didn't go that deep with y'all today, but we went deep the other night. We just wanted to bring it out there. I just still want to know. There are a lot of people, men and women, that feels they don't care if they're in a relationship. They consider themselves still single. For whatever reason, they consider themselves still single. And I don't know what can change it. And I don't even know how it can change. And they may not even want it to change. They may want to keep it going like it is, because that
Right.
may make them happy. That might be their piece of happiness. So if you are in a relationship, are you single? And I ain't talking about, I'm talking about a committed relationship. I ain't talking about just, everybody got friendships and all that kind. No, if you're in a committed relationship, do you still consider yourself single? Think about it.
I hope the next time we have a conversation, I'll be at home with my husband so I can get his opinion and chime in a little bit.
Well, my next question, and we can talk about this. Well, what time you get home? We'll talk about this in a minute. My next question is about, if I'm dating, can I keep dating? Or something like that. It's a question that I had about dating. Oh, no. If I'm dating, can I date more than one man?
Absolutely.
If I'm dating, can I date more than one man?
What kind of dating are you speaking?
Should women and should men date more than one person?
If they not exclusive with one person, then why not?
Yeah,
As
dating
long
is
as they
dating.
being upfront, as long as they being upfront and say, hey, you ain't the only person I'm dating. So, I'm out here, I'm dating. So just so you know, you see me out with somebody, you know what I mean? It's not you. I'm out here, I'm dating. Verbalize that. Make that clear.
Because that's another issue. That's another topic. What's dating? What's the definition of dating? I think we didn't define relationship, but we did define relationship, because there's a lot of definitions for a relationship. But what's dating? What is the definition of dating? Should you date more than one person? Because if you date more than one person, do you have time to get to know the person that you're trying to get to know? That's just another question for me. I don't know. If you're dating all these other people, who you got time to figure out who you want to be with? Because you're too busy dating everybody else. And the one that you might have been with, you might let them slip through your finger because you're over there trying to date everybody else. So I'm just asking. So anyway, at the end of the day, folks, Wind Down Wednesday, we're going to get men on here next time because we need some male's perspective. I
Yeah.
wish I could call my guy, but he 3 hours behind us. And I'm sure he's working. But anyway, we get to this point where we got to give our a positive quote before we get up out of here.
Right. Yes. And so since you're a special guest, we're going to let you give your positive quote. So go right ahead.
My positive quote will be, stay true and faithful to who you are as a person.
All right. I like it. My positive quote is create healthy boundaries. create healthy boundaries and all your relationships, whether it's friendships, your sisterhood, create healthy boundaries because it helps protect you. So
Correct.
create those healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. And y'all know me, but you know, be who you are. Know what you want, know how you want it, and when you want it for yourself and not nobody else. Because at the end of the day, it's always about positive in and positive out. And I am truly blessed because it is always better to give than it is to receive. And we'll see y'all next time. We might chime this in next week with some men. Deuces, holla back at y'all. Thanks,
Bye,
Janetta.
y'all. You're welcome.